Have you met an orbiter? Because I have. Um, at the time, I was dating this woman, and all of the blue, she was like, "Oh, my friend's going to be in town. We should go and have drinks with them and hang out." And I was like, "Cool. What's her name?" And she was like, "Well, his name is Aaron." And I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be one of these." So dude shows up, and he's rather surprised at my existence. Like, I feel like she probably did not tell him that she has a boyfriend or that her boyfriend was a black man. And so he was like, rather just like, "Oh, hi, who are you?" Um, and like, after a fairly, how do I describe this? Dude was an F boy. So like, after some bad conversation, it's like, okay, let's go out. And coming with us was a friend of his, a female friend of his that we had not met before. So we go out. After an hour, things are chill, but I'm like, "Yo, I'm getting tired. I want to go home." And she's like, "Actually, it doesn't sound too bad. Let's go." um, Leaving the other two to do their stuff. So we get back, we pass out, and about 3 o'clock in the morning, she gets a call from the other girl that we were hanging out with that guy is very, very drunk. He is becoming very difficult to deal with, and that she is going to drop him off at our place. And of course, my ex is like, "Oh, sure, sure, that's fine." And I'm groggy and I'm like, "What's going on?" Like, "Oh, he's coming over." Why? Because he needs to be taken care of, basically. So he gets there, dude, out of the car, like his feet don't hit the ground. The door opens and his head is the first thing that hits the ground. And it's not a soft hit. Like, standing in the doorway, I could hear the sound that his head made when it hit the concrete. And of course, the fact that there was blood was kind of indication that it was more than just a slight tap. It was a bam. Like, he hit his head on the concrete. I'm pretty sure at like the corner where the driveway starts to, like, become the lawn. So it was like, bam, that was purposeful hit. And we managed to get him inside after a bit of fighting, because even though he wasn't really cognizant, he still had some control of his body. So he was kind of fighting us and resisting and all of this stuff. So we finally get him inside, and he is responsive ish, to the point where I'm like, "Yo, I am concerned that if I fall asleep, I don't know what the status of this guy is going to be when I wake up." So I'm like, "We need to take him to the hospital because this is above my medical grade." Like, I am CPR certified, but like, I can't do this. And so we argue for a bit, and she finally concedes. We get him in her car, drive to the hospital, and it's at the point where we're about to go into the hospital that this guy decides to get cognizant, where he's like, "Oh, I can't go into the hospital because if I do that, then like my mom's gonna get my medical records." And I'm like, "Dude, your mom is not your concern right now. It's me. You just disturbed me out of my sleep, caused so much drama, and now that I feel like your life is in danger, you're going to bring up your mom." I was like, "Either you get out of this car or I will physically take you out of it myself." And he looked at me for a little bit and was like, "Okay, I get into the wheelchair." And I was like, "Yeah." And that was the last I'd ever heard of that guy. And I never want to see him again for the rest of my life.